Praise the Lord, family, and greetings from Apostle Chauncey Craig at Discipling Ministries. I've been ordered to feed us bread and meat, and pray that this meal finds us in the right position to receive it. Our Food from a Raven continues with part 2 of Am I the Called? And our text comes from Jude verses 2 and 3 that reads like this: Mercy, peace, and love be multiplied to you. Verse 3 says, Beloved, while I was very diligent to write to you concerning our common salvation, I found it necessary to write to you, exhorting you to contend earnestly for the faith which was once for all delivered to the saints. I strongly recommend that if you haven't already, to go back and listen to the first part of this series, as I'm confident it will help give a clearer picture for our understanding leading into this thing today. Am I the called? My disclaimer was that we must ask ourselves, am I the called? Because this message is to the called. To the called. Jude says, mercy, peace, and love be multiplied to you. I need us to grab a hold of that saying and understand that it wasn't offered because it sounds good or because it was his custom to greet those in the faith that way. Jude wasn't like many of our modern day preachers. He wasn't just saying what's pleasing to the flesh or strokes the ears of the hearers. He was specifically talking to the called because he knew that multiplied mercy, peace, and love were the ingredients for the faith. Not just a little leaven. Come on, somebody. Not just a little leaven, but these things needed to be multiplied, meaning abundant, increased. Am I the called? Most of us understand the law or principle of first mention. And note that Jude says mercy, meaning kindness, favor, pity, or compassion. The fountain that all good we could ever hope for comes from, even when we guilty or miserable. It don't matter how messed up we are, God still offers mercy. That's the fountain, that mercy. Now, we can't have godly peace or love without having mercy. It's God's mercy, his compassion, favor towards us that gives us peace, meaning to be silent or quiet, safe, well, or in harmony. True peace is only to those that are reconciled with God. Now that we've received compassion, we've been reconciled to him, we can show love because we've encountered it. What are you talking about, preacher? For God so loved the world that he gave. It's impossible to give something that we don't have. But because we've been given multiplied mercy, multiplied peace, and multiplied love, there's a need that we give the same. Freely we have received, freely give. Am I the called? There's no way I can say I love you and can't stand to be in the same room. There's no such thing as I love you, but I don't like you. There's a need for us to use our ingredients. Give mercy that I can experience peace even in your presence, so that the love of God can indeed cover. Anything covered can't be seen, can't affect my judgment, and it can't stop my loving. Now, check this out. Jude picks up in the 3rd verse and says, Beloved, while I was very diligent to write to you concerning our common salvation. What Jude is basically saying is that I had my own plans of how and what I wanted to write to you. He's saying I'm diligent, I'm skillful, I'm learned in this area, and prompt to give a word in season and out of season concerning our common salvation. However, he follows that by saying, I found it necessary to write to you, exhorting you to contend earnestly for the faith which was once for all delivered to the saints. People of God, that word necessary, it comes from a Hebrew word spelled C-H-O-Q, and it's pronounced koke, K-H-O-K-E, which means appointment, appointed, commandment, set time, decree. Oh my God, did we catch that? Our dear brother Jude is telling us that I am not like your apostle. I am not like your bishop. I am not like your pastor. I don't have a 10-year-old notebook that I can just pull a sermon out of because I'm skilled, because I'm good like that, or because of current events, or I'm emotionally driven. Am I the called? He's saying to us, I founded my appointment, my set time, God's decree to write to you, exhorting you to contend earnestly for the faith which was once for all delivered to the saints. Jesus. Jude is telling us that this ain't the time to be talking about our common salvation. This ain't the time to say, go ye therefore. This ain't the time for you to be trying to baptize. This ain't the time for you to be preaching to nobody but yourself. This time is appointed as a personal call, an invitation, an encouragement to fight for, to struggle for, to strive for, to get angry about, and contend for the faith. So many of us are just going through the motion, compromising, and have literally stopped fighting for the faith that was delivered to us. It was delivered. We have it. Now we've gone on accepting anything and everything as the will of God. I hope we understand this. Having preached to others and ourselves being castaways, we've been beat into submission by the devil only because we refuse to contend. We've allowed our natural eyes to justify our successes and failures. Am I the called? Meet me here next week as we continue to understand what's written. Apostle Chauncey Craig at Discipling Ministries, where we're not concerned about a building, but the building of a people. I love you and praying with you.